All right, so now we're going to get into our hack of the week. All right, our hack of the week is where every webinar I'm going to break down one financial concept and show you how you can immediately implement this in your everyday life, personal finances, career, business, whatever it is. So our hack of the week is the financial house. The financial house. How many of you guys like Monopoly? All right. So the financial house, how does this work? Well, basically, when it comes to putting together your you're the architect of your own financial house, all right? So like any house, that you want to build and start out with, there's different levels, there's different floors. You're not going to build a house starting with the roof, all right, or starting with the bathroom. And there's different levels to this. Kind of like Carl Phillips from Eric Thompson Associates. He always like to say there's levels to this. So the first thing we have here is the foundation. All right. So the foundation that we have here broken down here is protect your income through term life. Now, term life is a form of life insurance. Now, life insurance is what we call income protection because it protects the house. And I'll kind of break that down here and show you different levels. Because a lot of times, a lot of people, we start our finances off, and like I said, starting with the roof or, the bathroom. Most people, when they're looking at a house, what do you look for in a house when you're a young couple going to see it? The wife may wants to go in and run and check the bathrooms, the kitchen. The guy wants to check the basement, look for a potential man cave, So, we're not necessarily going to look at the house and look at the foundation. We're not tapping on the foundation in the basement. It's not what we're thinking about. It's not really cute or appealing. All right, so I'm going to show you how this works. So, keeping with my financial filmmaker theme, feel free to put in the chat, guess that house. So I'm going to incorporate different houses from various TV shows or movies, and feel free to pop it in the chat. And you know what? I'm going to switch it up. If you guess the name of the house in each slide, what movie or TV show it's from, you'll get an extra. Okay. All right. They got that pretty quick. All right. So, yes, congrats, Ashley. You have another drawing in the raffle. Yes, Fresh Prince. And I see you, William. All right. William, you have another entry into that. All right. So Fresh Prince. So the foundation is protecting your income. Because what most people don't understand is that when people are younger, starting out, they have high amount of debt, young kids, a mortgage. They're a lot more at risk when they're starting out because they're just entering the workforce, but they don't have any sort of safety net that they can use. So the thing about life insurance, it's basically a form of not only income protection, but it creates an immediate estate where you instantly have your own wealth building vehicle that you're able to use. So if God forbid something were to happen to one of the spouse, you're now protected through that term life insurance. Because once again, if you have, basically someone making 40 grand, someone making 40 grand, you guys have a financial house, and then God forbid something happened to the husband went away. You had an $80,000 financial house, but now that husband goes away. Now those bills still going to go away? No. So guess what? That income protection, not only does it go toward funeral expenses, God forbid, it also goes towards, paying off debt, any existing debt. But that remaining money is put into a vehicle. The money, that insurance money can be put into a vehicle, an investment. And that can continue to bring in that $4,000 a month, that $2,000 a month for that household. So even though that spouse isn't there anymore, we've lost two deaths. There's a death of the person, but it's also the death of the income. So we can at least protect that income. Now we can bring that house back to 80,000, all right, or whatever, the household is. So that's the first foundation right there. Okay. All right. So I made an exception, but the first person to guess what TV show this house is from will get a second chance. So if you're a TV fan, you may recognize it's a certain scary show on FX. I'll give it that much. So if you guessed it, you get an extra raffle. All right, so this is the second level of your house, your financial house. And it's your budget, emergency fund, and a will. All right, so once you get the foundation of the life insurance in place, so everything is protected from the foundation, you work up to the first floor. So you want to establish a budget. And once again, it doesn't have to be the old budget that everybody remembers. It's like this crazy spreadsheet on the refrigerator. There's really great apps out there like Every Dollar. Every Dollar is great. Just really coming to terms with yourself and establishing a budget. Also an emergency fund. So once the income insurance, once the income protection through life insurance is in place, you start building an emergency fund. Now, a lot of people out there with this COVID-19 wish they had an emergency fund. You know, is definitely for times like this. And you don't wait to get an emergency to build a fund. But guess what? You're getting this information now, and it's all about progress. It's all about, moving forward from here. So after we establish that income protection through life insurance, the next floor of the financial house is the emergency fund, which we start to build. It's one of what we call the three major accounts, the big three short-term accounts, emergency fund. And then, of course, we establish what's called a will. Now, a will is basically lays out what your estate is. Sarah Jane Adventures, not quite. All right, it is a horror show on FX, okay? And one of their co-stars is Angela Bassett. Or if you know about Jessica Lange, but it's been on for a few seasons. Horror's in the title, so definitely horror is in the title. But whoever's first to name the show, you get an extra raffle. So the last part of this floor, this level, is the will. So will is pretty much laying out how you basically want your floor, how you want your plan to be, determined, after you're gone. The trust is a living trust. So that's something that is living, is revocable. You can change it, move it around. It's like the suitcase of how you want your estate laid out. And then the will, once you pass, that's the suitcase is opened up. And then they explain how your executive estate goes over how you want it laid out. Josh, there you go. American Horror Story. That's right. That's from the infamous first season. So, yep, Josh, you got another drawing. Okay, congrats, Josh. Yep. So that's the will. That's the first floor, second layer of the financial house. Next layer, name that house, paying off debt, is we want to accelerate paying off debt. And this is through a program we call debt stacking. So those guys may have heard of Robert Kiyosaki, or actually, through Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey, he actually used to work with my financial company. And there's a lot of foundations we taught him here that he went on to, take that and form Financial Peace University and everything with what he's doing now. So after we get the income protection, life insurance in place, after we establish the emergency fund, the will, and the budget, next floor is accelerating paying off your debt. So we have what's called debt stacking, where you're paying off one debt. We concentrate on one small debt. Once that's paid off, we focus on the next one and the next one and the next one. A lot of times, most people, they want to just decide, you know what, I'm just going to throw all this money at 8 different debts and pay all minimum payments, or they just want to focus on the one with the highest interest rate. But through debt stacking, we're able to get you out of that debt much sooner and actually save more money. So the biggest myth is that I have to pay off this highest interest rate credit card first, or I got to spread it all out and pay minimum payments on every one of them at the same time. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. What's going to get you out of debt sooner and actually have you pay less interest is through debt stacking. But we focus on that one small debt, pay that same payment, then you pay that off. And now you feel good because now you got a little momentum. You pay the second one off. And then what you were paying on the first one, you apply that same amount towards the second one, and it stacks and stacks and stacks. So that's debt stacking. So once again, going once, going twice. Dom, you're more than welcome. You won't get raffle credit, obviously, but feel free to guess what that house is as far as accelerating debt. And if you don't know it, that is the Brady Bunch house from the Brady Bunch. So I know I blocked off half the house with the slide, but yeah, that's the Brady Bunch house, y'all. Okay, so name that house. Next level is retirement. Okay, so this is really important when I sit down with clients and parents. The biggest myth out there is there's people out there who actually will pull out of their retirement to pay their kids through school or student loans. And that's one of the worst things you can do, because at the end of the day, their retirement, that is what you're going to live off of 30, 40, 50 years from now, versus your kid being in school. That's only a 3, 4, 5 year section of their life. And what happens is some people may neglect and they end up doing that. And basically it can cost them, because guess what? Now with that retirement, when they pull out of that retirement, that's going to delay their retirement now for paying for school. Because think about it, your kid, they can always get scholarships. There's special programs that pay for trades and different things. You can't get a retirement scholarship. All right. So that's the biggest thing we tell people. And also when it comes to student loans, any Parent Plus loan you sign, basically the parent is on the hook for that loan, even if God forbid something happened to the child, where the child passed away or they became disabled or they couldn't work. That parent is still on the hook for that loan, and it can't be forgiven. So we encourage people, even before we haven't even got to the college savings floor yet, because retirement is the priority. So we tell people that, once again, don't ever pull from your retirement to pay toward college. But at the same time, you want to try and knock down that debt and get rid of it before you start actually, saving for retirement. And the name of the house is from, I believe, Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street. So once again, if you're like a fan of 80s horror, feel free to check that one out. Okay, so now we're getting toward the college savings floor. We're almost at the roof. So once again, name that house. This is a certain early 90s movie starring Bill Murray. And it's a comedy, obviously. And it has to do with him waking up over and over again. So first person name that house from that movie gets another shot in the raffle. So this floor is college savings. Ground Dog, not quite, Josh, you're close. Oh, William had it. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to give that to William, Josh. William came in there like a thief in the night. So yeah, that's one more for William. Yep, Groundhog Day, 1993, classic. So college savings. Basically, we're almost toward the roof. So remember, like I mentioned, that retirement is a priority over a kid's college savings. So that's the floor that we talk about next. You have things called, I forgot the names, similar to like a 403B plan that a lot of teachers have. All right. So you start saving college through a 403B, as well as even Roth IRAs have a component. Not to get too much into investments. This isn't an investment seminar. I'm not giving official investment advice, but through a college savings account, that's once again the second to the last floor that you want to focus on. All right. Then here we go. Last floor. Other dreams and goals. Now we're at the top. So once again, guys, name that house. This is from another horror movie. It seems like a lot of famous houses from movies, when I Googled it, a lot of them are horror movies. So this one, feel free to guess what it is. And once again, goals and dreams. This is where we get to the top. So what I like to encourage my clients when they get a financial needs analysis, I'm not here to just say you got to cut down here and got to live on rice and beans and never go out again and just live life like you're poor for the rest of your life. It's not what this is about. I show people through the financial needs analysis, as we build up these floors, how to also incorporate their goals and dreams. Like, hey, I want to buy an RV and eventually travel. Hey, I want to eventually, live abroad. Hey, I want to eventually do this. So we incorporate that into we encourage people to incorporate that into their own financial house. It shouldn't just always be paying bills for your whole life. So we incorporate that, but we show people how to build that the right way. Unfortunately, most people, when it comes to their financial house, they start with the roof first. You know, I don't know about you, Don, but I've never seen anybody build a house from the roof down. It doesn't work like that. But we do that all the time in our finances. So yeah, that's basically the problem with that. Oh, sorry, I had you on mute. Unmute
Oh,
you.
good. I was talking.
Oh, cool. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you meant to go on mute or if I muted you by accident.
No worries.
But yeah, this is it. So basically, the goals and dreams. So once again, name that house, guys. What house is that from? It's from a certain horror movie. Came out in the 60s. And I'll give the title of the movie director's first name's Alfred. And it had to do a bit with a shower. So name that movie, guys. Going once. Going twice. Sold. It's Psycho. Ah, no, Psycho. That's the Psycho house. Oh, well, you can't be too late, buddy. Sorry. I would have gave you credit too, but yeah. Yeah, Psycho, Anthony Perkins, Alfred Hitchcock. All right. So in conclusion, this hack of the week, building your financial house. Once again, starts with the floor, the foundation, protect your income through term life insurance. First floor, budget, emergency fund, will, after we establish the foundation. Second floor, accelerate paying off debt. Third floor, retirement. Fourth floor, college savings. And then finally, our goals and dreams. So part of what we do is we help people through my financial needs analysis find out where somebody's at. Find out what floor they're at. Are you deep in the basement? Are you 6 feet under? Are you on the first floor? Where are you at? Are you like in the kids' room upstairs? Let's find out where somebody is at and show you how to build that financial house the right way.